Let's speak now with Lord Karan Bilimoria, Chair of the International Chamber of Commerce UK and member of the UK House of Lords. He joins us now from Dehradun, India. Good to have you on the programme with us. Now, Burnham says he wants to rewire Britain. Is this a genuine shift in policy or just a rebranding of old ideas?
There is no question that Andy Burnham, who presumably will be the next Prime Minister very shortly, wants to change things, because what has been happening in Britain is not working, in that the country deserves much better than it's got at the moment. Since the Brexit vote, exactly 10 years ago, in June, on the 23rd of June 2016, we have had very low growth, we have had low or declining productivity, we've had taxes going up, we've had public spending going up, we've had borrowing going up, combined with not only economic instability, but political instability, with 6 prime ministers in 10 years. The last time that happened in the United Kingdom was 250 years ago, at the time of America's independence, when we had 6 prime ministers in 10 years, and now we're going to have 7 prime ministers in 10 years. So the country desperately needs stability politically and economically. Business needs that certainty to be able to plan, to be able to invest. And we've had a lack, for example, of house building. We need more houses to be built in the country. There's no question of that. We need over 1 million, 1.5 million new houses to be built in the country. And we need growth. Now, you cannot get growth by putting up taxes, which the previous Conservative government did, and the Labour government has continued to do, so that we have the highest tax level in the UK in 80 years. And we've had borrowing now going up to 100%, but there are many other countries that have borrowing much higher than we do as a percentage of GDP, including Italy, including the United States of America. So there is an argument we could borrow more, as long as there's a plan to invest that money that you borrow more into infrastructure and into growth and into lowering taxes and into making public expenditure much more efficient than it is at the moment.
Right, and Burnham calls his vision Manchesterism, but even Manchester's growth has been heavily concentrated in its city centre. How can a model that hasn't solved inner city inequality be replicated across the UK?
Well, he's been respected. There's no denying. He's been mayor of Manchester for a decade. He's been respected in that role. He's been a popular mayor. He's just won a landslide by-election. He didn't just win, he won convincingly by almost 10,000 votes. So he has that reputation. The reality is that the UK as a country, we are still the 6th largest economy in the world. And London is still the greatest of the great cities in the world, and is a hugely powerful part of the United Kingdom. So the success of London is not only beneficial for London, but benefits the whole of the United Kingdom. Balanced to that, you have Andy Burnham saying he wants more devolution. Well, if you have power being closer to the people, that can work. It can be more efficient if it is done properly. But the key here is to unleash the potential of the United Kingdom, which so far for 10 years, that has not been done. And we should be doing so much better as a country, which is still the 6th largest economy in the world with less than 1% of the world's population. We have manufacturing, still the 11th largest in the world. Our financial services, City of London, is top 2 in the world, along with New York. Our services exports are the 2nd largest service exporter in the world. Our defense forces may be small, but they are hugely powerful and respected around the world. We've got great hard power, we've great soft power. Universities, along with the United States of America, are the best in the world. Cambridge and Harvard have more Nobel Prizes than any other university in the world. So we've got all these strengths as a country that need to be unleashed. And we're hoping that with a new leader, this might happen. Keir Starmer, by the way, was a very decent person. I got to know him, very well-intentioned, but people felt that it was not working under his leadership. So people are desperate for change and stability and hope when it comes to business and the economy and consumers.
Right, and you say the potential is there, but do local authorities have the capacity and resources to make that work?
Well, the capacity and the resources are always there. They're manageable. It is choices that a government needs to make. Choices, for example, with the geopolitical uncertainty that we're in at the moment. Do we invest more in defense? We absolutely need to invest more in defense as a NATO country, not just 3% of GDP. I would say we actually need a target of up to 5% of GDP and certainly 3.5% in the short run. And not just spending on defense, is what do you spend on defense, with the Russia-Ukraine war showing how defense has changed for drone warfare, with the Ukrainians showing the advanced drone warfare that they're using so effectively. And of course, Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced an investment in drones. So we need to invest in defense. We need to make welfare much more efficient. We're spending a huge amount on welfare, over £300 billion. Our National Health Service, we're spending up to £250 billion on the National Health Service. That needs to be far more efficient. So efficiencies in government expenditure is a key, but combined with that is spending on the things that will keep our country safe and that will genuinely generate growth and also enable taxes to be reduced. And then, of course, trade. We're a great trading nation. I'm president of the International Chamber of Commerce in the UK and regional coordinator for ICC Europe, which includes Turkey. And the ICC is the largest business organization in the world. And we are world experts in trade and, of course, the largest arbitration court in the world. And that trade, digitizing trade, which the UK has led on, that can make trade much more efficient, that can save hundreds of billions of dollars, can save time from things taking months, taking minutes, with the power of AI now. That's what we should be focusing on, is in encouraging trade and making trade flow around the world to the benefit of all countries.
On that note, Burnham is likely to inherit immediate tensions with Washington as Donald Trump threatens 100% tariffs over tech taxes. And given that London has had its digital services tax in place since 2020, is the incoming Prime Minister walking straight into a trade war that could wreck his economic plans from day one?
No one expected what President Donald Trump did in April last year in imposing the tariffs around the world. And we've seen historically that tariff wars going back to the 1920s and 30s in the United States do not work. In fact, they damage the country that imposes them more than anyone else. The consumers themselves suffer as a result of high tariffs. What we need is to have a rules-based multilateral trading system that we all work together with the WTO, with the OECD plans that they put forward. That's what we need, and that's to the benefit. Historically, the United States and the UK, our average tariff is, I'm not exaggerating, has been 2%. That is why the United States is the #1 trading partner of the United Kingdom. Our trade with the United States of America is over $350 billion a year. And we have a trade surplus with the United States of America when it comes to services. We export over 160 billion pounds worth of services to the United States of America. So it is our #1 trading partner as a country. Of course, our #1 trading partner as such is the European Union at our doorstep. With or without Brexit, it still makes up almost 50% of our trade, goods and services, imports and exports. So that is very key to us as well. And also, let's put this in perspective. The United States of America is by far the largest economy in the world. The whole of the EU 27 countries and the UK put together, the American economy is bigger than all 28 countries. And yet, America only makes up 13% of world trade. 87% of the world trade is made up by all the other countries in the world, including the EU, including South Asia, including the Far East, Africa, the Middle East, South America. So, we as a global world have to work with this, and we have to try and prevent tariff wars and trade wars. It doesn't benefit anyone.
Lord Karan Bilimoria, thank you very much for speaking to us here on TRT World.